ahead and drop the intro. Hopefully everything is going live right now. We're going to welcome some people into the chat. Should take a few minutes to get everybody in the room. Welcome to Wednesday night podcast. We're doing a podcast tonight because it's Christmas Eve in a few days. So we're going to be doing things with the families, and Santa's coming soon. So, all right, we got
doing for Christmas, Nick.
Couple people coming in the room here.
Bike riding. You be pedaling around the city
if the weather permits.
It'd be nice, Dave, maybe to even get some Christmas lights and
go
get some packs in somewhere. Might be able to join you. Maybe it's Christmas Eve.
Some snow packs.
All right, guys, welcome everybody to the room to tonight's podcast. We're having an early podcast. What's up, Wisconsin? We normally have it on Friday nights at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, but tonight we're doing it a little early. All right, almost 10 people in the room. Welcome, guys. Crack your beers.
What's up?
I'm not drinking.
Diego's not drinking tonight. We have some unicorn, some High Life, and we have some mushroom beer. What do you guys think? The ill-tempered gnome winter ale. Is that appropriate? Are you guys scared of mushroom ale from Oregon? Don't be scared.
Mushroom ale?
Don't be scared.
With mushroom ale.
It's good. It's tasty. What's up, Spiff? Hey, man. You did make it, bro. You did make it. I wish you were here on the stream. You have to come be a guest pilot some night. All right, guys. We're going to go ahead and drop that fun intro, and then we're going to get started, okay?
just make shit up along the way.
You know what's pretty funny? I don't believe the intro played.
You don't think so?
Freaking amateurs.
You don't think it played?
Did it play? Who knows? I think I have to push this button, start streaming. All right. Yeah, we're probably not gonna play any extra videos tonight. We're just gonna talk about FPV and this. We don't have OBS set up tonight, so screw it. I wanted to. Oh, maybe I can do it. Shushing my buddies? No, hell no, bro. They shush me. They're in charge. So OBS is our podcast software that we use. You have to put in a key for the stream. And apparently it's not quite set up. So tonight I was in a hurry. I got stuck in traffic for an hour and a half.
Holiday traffic. I mean, you gotta love it.
Holiday traffic in this big city.
In Portland,
last minute shopping.
Traffic sucks. Portland.
I mean, I was last minute shopping Monday. So yeah. But
I was in Target yesterday. It was like about 85 Karens coming out front door.
yeah.
Just waiting for me to do something wrong. I wanted a tiny whoop pretty much everywhere I went because you could kind of hide somewhere and no one would find you. There's so many people.
Right.
Or they would just be like, wait, playing a video game, playing Nintendo Switch.
Playing Nintendo Switch.
That's what I'm doing.
Leave me alone.
I'm not doing anything wrong. What's up, Luis? Welcome to the stream. Welcome, Mr. Spat, Kai Ross. Maybe we can make this screen a little bit bigger so the guys can see the chat. Last week, it was hard for them to read the chat, so we got to get like a second monitor going or something for you guys.
Yeah, got to get something figured out.
So good news is tomorrow, the Nazcal Evoke F6X review drops, and so far my flying for this quad, it might not surprise you, but if I was going to buy a 5, 6, or 7 right now, and if I could have just one quad for next year, it might actually be this quad. And that says a lot about this quad because it has everything on here that I would want as an experienced FPV pilot. A little bit larger motors than normal. GPS. We've got the option to run GoPro. HD system on here. Everything. I would probably extend this antenna in the back, but that's literally all I would do to this quad. And I would take this anywhere on FPV road trips with these guys and fly it, like, you know, out at the coast or.
Yeah.
Diego knows all about 6-inch, and we were talking about 6-inch last week on the podcast, how it's kind of the happy medium, the sweet center spot of between 5 and 7-inch for, I would say, medium range. I can't really say long range.
Yeah, I don't know. It seems like you got to be careful with throwing that word around.
I mean,
some people get real
what
technical. What is long range?
What is long range? And everybody has a different opinion of long range. If you're a newbie, 1 mile might be long range, right? So, I mean, we could go around the room and ask everybody what their mile is considered long range for that specific pilot. So we'll start with Nick and ask Nick what's his definition of what the threshold for him would be for long range with his experience.
Oh gosh, I mean, honestly, I haven't put any of the numbers up on my OSD, so I've probably been about two miles out max, maybe, probably more closer to 1.5 miles, just where I feel comfortable. Just because usually I have a lot invested in my stuff, and I haven't done the things that I need to feel comfortable to like really just like send it out. And yeah, I probably need to fix my OSD. I have at least a couple quads with GPS, so I need to actually set that up. But yeah, honestly, probably I was just telling Diego the other day, rangefinder would be fun to have, just because we always, when we're out driving, we kind of like stop and we're like, I wonder if we could fly that. I'd like to have a rangefinder to just be like, oh, is that close enough, or is it an optical illusion? So yeah, I'd say about 1.5 miles, 2 miles is probably the longest I pushed it.
But what would your definition? What's your
definition?
threshold for the holy grail of what you consider to be long range, miles wise?
Man, I mean, I think that like 2 miles is probably as long range in my opinion, because once you get past that, where we are, you get too much. There's things in the way, and you can't go like any further comfortably. Like, I mean, yeah, I guess 2 miles.
Okay.
Would be mine.
Okay. What about Diego?
I don't know. I guess it all really depends on the batteries. Kind of my limiting factor.
But what do you consider like? What's like what you see on the internet, or I mean,
I don't know. There's all kinds of long range I've seen some people with some really ultralight planes that are sending it out 60, 40 kilometers out, which is pretty far out in my opinion. I don't know that I would ever be comfortable flying anything that far out. Personally, I think I've only flown out maybe 1 mile or 2 out at most. What I feel comfortable flying at is probably within a half to mile away is a nice comfortable zone, because I generally can retrieve something that far away if I happen to lose it.
That's another thing in the Pacific Northwest. Like,
yeah,
we think about terrain and like.
Yeah, the terrain is definitely a dictator of what.
Like, I just don't want to go.
Yeah,
if it happens to fail safe.
Yeah,
I'm just like.
The terrain is definitely a dictator for me too.
I mean, the thing about it is a lot of people think they can go out and fly long range and kind of dip dive as they go, and you can to a certain point, as long as you're running GPS. If you're running GPS on the back of your machine, there's going to be a couple factors that limit how far out you get, the less dipping you can do. The further away from your transmitter you get, unless you're perched and you're flying from a high angle down,
Yeah.
and you say you're 3 miles this way, but you're dipping through a canyon, if you're up above your machine, you're going to get the best line of sight signal down to it, down to that
definitely
canyon.
Line of sight is
If you're down in the bottom of the trench and you're trying to fly 3 miles away and you're dip diving down into the deck, that's going to be kind of recipe for a fail-safe. So typically what a lot of people around the world do is they perch. I call it a perch. We go find the highest spot on a mountain or a ridge somewhere, and we drop off a cliff. So I've maidened FPV wings off the side of cliffs out on the coast over top of water, and thank God that the setup was right, because it flew off and I was able to go down the beach. But that's what you want to do if you're flying line of sight. To you want to keep it line of sight between your transmitter and your quad. The minute you dip behind a canyon wall or something like that, even if it's crossfire, you do have a chance to fail safe. And if the GPS is there, it'll nose the quad up and bring you back up. And once you get above that threshold where that wall is, you can kind of regain signal and continue on your flight. You don't have to come all the way back to home. But that's mostly what GPS is for. In the other instance, a total loss of radio communication would be just a total flyback, which I've had before, which is completely scary, because with some planes, they'll come back and they'll rotate around the home point. And until the battery dies, basically until the battery dies, they'll circle, and eventually you'll get your plane back, maybe in a few pieces, but you'll get it back, which is better than nothing. But my definition of long range, I used to, like some of you guys know, I flew FPV on single rotor, and traditionally we set up on 1.3. So that kind of was easy for me to get into long range, because I was already using a system that would go out pretty far. And just setting up a tripod and ground station and a pepper box and all that stuff could get us out there miles and miles. But my personal definition of long range probably is like 50 miles, mainly because traditionally I fly FPV long range with an airplane, a fixed wing. Quads can only go so far, unless they're gigantic and somehow they're made feather light at the same time. So there's a kind of a catch-22 with multi-rotor long range versus fixed wing long range, because with fixed wing long range, you can cut the motors and you can glide quite a bit. I mean, some of the guys in Russia are doing 11,000 feet, 15,000 feet. Even some guys here in the US, they're not supposed to be. I don't do that, FAA, if you're listening. So, and we try to stick to our limits, especially most of the time we're not completely in the middle of nowhere. There's usually people around wherever you go nowadays. So it's not super smart to fly like, thousands of feet up. But the general rule, the golden rule of FPV long range is higher as you go. So you start out low, and as you go, your mile increments, you're supposed to be going higher and higher as you go. The reason is because the curvature of the Earth will actually cut your signal as well. So there's quite a few things that you can learn as you start to venture further and further out. I haven't been that far out to have the curvature of the Earth affect my aircraft, but that is the theory. That's the theory that I'm trying to teach you guys. So that's really good information for you to know if you're interested in that. Most of you guys won't go past a mile or two. So that's a long way to walk or hike down into a canyon to find your shit. So the Earth is flat.
I was waiting for one of those. I was gonna say something, but
Here we go.
figured somebody beat you to the punch.
Yeah.
And on that note, it's time to crack a beer.
Yeah.
What are you guys drinking tonight? Are you guys having some beers? We've got some High Life here for you guys. You guys ready?
Going for the break side.
We got a 12-pack of High Life. Come on, keeping it real. Well, the FPV podcast has High Life. Keeping it classy.
Classing it up.
Cheers, guys. We're going to pretend this is Friday night. So Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. It's over with, but whatever you celebrate. Voodoo Ranger. Nice. Juicy. I like juicies. You guys like juicies?
Juicy's what?
Juicy beer. Diego doesn't drink.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've had some juicy
Nick?
before. Yeah.
You like
good.
a little bit of splash of juice in there?
Oh, is that what they mean by
I,
juicy?
I think so. Am I wrong?
No.
Am I wrong about that? Is the juicy?
by Deschutes? Is it? No, that's fresh squeeze.
There's like sour ales and all kinds of stuff. Portland has the most breweries of any town in the country
Per capita.
per capita.
No,
And strip clubs.
it's per capita. You can't go around throwing that. Saying per capita because people will call you out on
Per capita. Gorilla Glue dabs.
it. Gorilla deep.
Starting to turn into bot grinder over here. You know, we need to plug bot grinder in some night and have him up in the corner. We could get some other guys in here. Just drop some names if you want me to plug some people in sometime. We'll have some guests on. It's more juicy flavors, not actual juice, just more tropical.
Oh.
So is it like a artificial flavor?
Doesn't sound like beer to me.
Like grapefruit, artificial sour ale?
Sounds like foofy drink to me.
We need more beer. Dude, we drank most of it I don't know. 12 cans of Miller High Life. I mean, after the third beer, I'm wasted.
Yeah, with these heavy-duty IPAs these days, it only takes a couple.
Yeah, Oregon beers typically have quite a bit of alcohol content. These are just probably 6 or something.
6 or 5. Cool IPA.
Nick, you want to tell us about this cruiser right here? Little cruiser you got here?
Yeah, I mean, it's a little iFlight, the Alpha A75.
A75.
It's fun. It's I really like the tiny whoops and flying around like my condo and little areas where
What's up,
hopefully
Jeff?
I'm not upsetting people. The one thing about that is I've never flown this is the 75 millimeter one. I've never flown the 85.
And it is an HD, right?
Yeah, it's an HD, and I feel like it's a little underpowered for all the weight that it carries. It's 3S. Again, I haven't flown its like bigger brother. I'd like to.
Have you tried using some high voltage batteries on that?
I just recently got some high voltage, but I've only like charged it once, and I didn't actually charge it to high voltage. I must admit.
You need to goose it.
Yeah.
Goose it. Turn up that throttle curve and goose it.
I do. I probably have some. Yeah, I have some footage that I need to upload flying around my condo around the Christmas tree. And
nice.
The cat. I thought was going to be scared of it because its motors are so much louder than the tiny whoop.
Now you just adopted another cat, didn't you?
Yeah, I just got another cat from the Humane Society.
Nice.
How many cats
2
do you
weeks
have?
ago?
It's got
Well,
2 now.
2. But the other one lives with my girlfriend most of the time. So I figured he needed a partner, and yeah, so 1 cat 50% of the time. But yeah,
Is
2
this
cats.
This is the A5, right?
That's the 7.5.
7.5.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. Listen, someone said 8.5 in the chat, but I'm looking at them like
No, that's the 7.5.
looks like 7.5.
I wonder. I feel like the 8.5 would maybe be a little bit better option because it does feel a little underpowered.
I like the A5 because you can get away with just a little more wind,
Right.
and then it's a little more stable.
Yeah,
it's a little more stable.
I've flown it around in my condo, and then out the window on a kind of windy day, and yeah, it was not good news. So yeah, it's the 8.5. I feel like could be a little bit better. I feel like for indoor flight, the 6.5 tiny whoop, a little 1S. I'm still just got to stick with analog for now.
Are we showing more stuff?
Does anybody want to?
Are we doing some openings too, Jenny?
A dunt car.
A dunt.
This is the official.
Oh, we showed him last week. The dunt.
No, for the new guys in the room, we got to show off the dunt car.
The dunt.
The dunt car.
Ishin.
Who dunt it?
Who dunt it?
Wasn't me.
The dunt patch.
So we have another little box sitting over here.
Yeah.
Speaking of long range, this is from a company called I don't even know how to say that. CY. This reminds me of something like Connex HD when it came out. It's really, really sturdy.
Oh yeah.
And this is called the HM30. Super, super legit. Wait on that for a second.
Oh, we're gonna wait.
Yeah. So this is the unit right here. It's got a little spot for the tripod on the bottom. This is an HD system that can hook up to Pixhawk and ArduPilot. You've got diversity on here. It has a huge battery, the same battery actually that works on one of my LED lights. So I can probably interchange these batteries. You see here.
So is that the receiver?
Charges
for
up in a couple.
like ground station, or does that go in the quad?
So this goes on the ground station.
All right.
And you have huge antennas. So we're gonna test this one out probably on an airplane. But what's neat about this system is it has all custom OSD, and it will go out about 50 kilometers, full HD. Like this is a really powerful transmitter for HD. So it's not as good as DJI, and it's more for like industrial applications. We looked at this camera before when it first came in, and it's running on 264. Oh, look at this. Luis, check this out, bro. This is a pretty large camera.
Beast of a camera. Yeah.
That's like back to like 2014 style, integrated TX or something. And the antennas actually do look like very similar to like the Connex antennas. You get 4 of them in the box. And the antenna that actually goes on the aircraft, or the transmitter from the aircraft to here, like it's really, the VTX is huge. Like it's like this big.
Wow.
I should pull it out.
This would be good for like a Cinelift or something.
Yeah, it would be
Like
good
a
for a
large
Cinelifter.
For like that new iFlight Cinelift.
Yeah, this is what we're talking about right here. Check this out. It's as big as my hand.
Holy.
Look at that.
Got a
Largest
fan.
Largest
Nice.
VTX you've ever seen, built-in fan on the top. It's got UARTs down the side, USB-C. It's got an XT30 here for maybe an external battery. You probably want to run this through the flight controller. Just plug in another side and solder right down to it. And really nice extensions for getting, these are for getting your antennas spread apart out on the wing, because most likely this is going to be on fixed wing. But it's pretty impressive. But again, it doesn't look as good as like DJI.
All right.
But you're not flying DJI
So, yeah,
more than a
that's
couple
just like
miles. This,
HDMI out the U8 plug into your like Fat Shark or whatever goggles.
yeah, you're gonna come out of this and plug right into your input in your goggles.
Right.
Or most people in this type of application are using like
Probably
monitors with a hood. But I think this system is about $1,000. Not cheap. So these guys are expecting a full review. I know Archangel did a review on it. If you want to go check out Archangel's review, he's that's pretty much all he does is long range. Usually him and I get the same planes to review. He's done a lot of My Twin Dream as well. And this will probably go on an MTD, My Twin Dream. That's like a dual, larger FPV airplane. So anybody get to fly today? Was the weather good where you guys were? Yeah, short bus. I think the latency on that is somewhere around like 30 or something like that. It is pretty high. But then again, you're going to be flying at high altitude, so you're not dip diving through the trees and stuff.
Flying that giant transmitter on any freestyle rigs or anything. So.
Yeah, it's something like this actually really makes me appreciate DJI. Never thought I'd say that. Any questions in the chat? Let's check it out. Jeff, we got to have you on. And you know what? Luis should come over for a live chat. Luis is like the Portland Barwell hiding in his pad.
He'll teach you something.
Every day, Luis teaches me something. And he's good at video too. He could probably
Yeah,
set up
yeah.
our secondary camera, like our
Right.
down-facing camera to show off the quad. We could switch. You know how to do that, Luis?
And I tell you what video.
So some other stuff that we have is on the table. These just came in yesterday, day before. So we're gonna do some unboxing and see what we got coming up on the channel.
First one we got from Hobby Porter.
Hobby Porter.
What are they sending you?
Straight from China. We've already sanitized these boxes though.
Again, we want to say thanks to our sponsors. I don't know, I didn't get to play the intro earlier, but we have 5 sponsors on the channel as of now. So the first episode, they went and checked it out. They liked the content that we provided. We talked about some of their products. I mean, obviously,
Ooh.
if you're going to get a sponsor, they want you to talk about some of their stuff,
4 pocket charger.
which we will do. So we have Banggood, Gep RC, we have iFlight, Beta FPV, and Radio Master. So some really good sponsors, like right out of the bat on our second episode. I apologize to those guys that I didn't get the intro to play, but when we get OBS set up, we play every single week.
Ooh,
Luis,
another
I'm no Bardwell. I'm no Bardwell either, dude. Make sure you don't show my address.
All right.
Mini charger. USB-C to XT60.
Recon 35.
So yeah, I was really interested to see this one from Toolkit. It's called the M4. Oh, nice little a 2S offering from Recon.
With digital.
Hopefully, this one is, something that you're allowed to see on the stream. This might not have been released yet. Now it has been. Take your screenshots now,
Take
boys.
your screenshots now, put it away.
Oh yeah, look at that GPS on the back.
Yeah. It's
Crossfire.
DJI.
Got a deuce set up on
Put it
there.
away. Don't show the address.
Yeet. Do
Crossfire
not
and
never show your
DJI?
address on the
That's
internet.
dope.
Seriously. I gotta hide all my address. One of the things about people streaming on YouTube is that sometimes they offer up information that you didn't quite want to offer up. Like you got a bill sitting on your desk or your bank account number. Oh, Gap RC, boys. Gap RC.
Nope, already the antenna.
Oh, it's for shipping. Come on, guys.
Is it broken?
No, but you just gotta shove.
That's
shove
gonna
it
be
on
fun
there.
to fly.
Yeah, dude.
Team Goose it.
All in one.
I think Ishin was the
the
first.
Mark 5.
Mark 5.
Uh-oh.
Mark 5. And I want to say there was some kind of release date on that. I think it's today. So this is the M4 Pocket Balance Charger. Check out how small this is. Pretty small. It has input for XT60 on here, XT30, and USB-C.
There you go on it.
The input is 7 to 25 volt on this,
Snacks.
and output max of like 5 amps.
Candies. Candies.
Candy. Not a candy.
So here it is. Nice. It's a cool little unit.
It's got the OG camera. Damn. This is
It's got like a. I think there's an XT30 underneath this tab.
little baby antennas on there.
Wow, thank you, Gep, for sending the HD version.
Yeah.
This is another Squash X. Look at that. Check that out. Mark 5. Probably the first
unit.
time that you've seen it on the internet. That's pretty beastie. I don't see any GPS on there.
No GPS.
No
No
GPS.
GPS.
Like to have GPS, but they do have a full-size air unit, which is nice. You can wire up a
And
GPS.
it's the OG camera, so you got the 720,
Look at that.
120, or 120 frame.
Original DJI camera, which also the Evoke F6X has. So both these companies are paying attention to what we want. And I was saying in tomorrow's review that I feel like iFlight has like a whole bunch of Cadex Vistas hiding in their warehouse. They got like a bunch of back stock because they never stopped producing their binding flies. Where other guys made a lot of analogs this year. These guys have a ton of DJI stock laying around.
Can get it in there.
They must have bought it
Yeah.
all up before
That's awesome.
the chip shortage.
Right.
So this one's rocking
I did.
2107.5s, and they're 1960 kV. So you know what that means, you guys? I'm hoping that we could fly a Lion on this one. We'll see. It is a 5-inch. It would make me a little more comfortable if it was 6.
What?
What does it say?
Please insert the battery in correct direction.
Incorrect direction.
I think it means please do not insert the battery in the incorrect direction, but it definitely tells us to insert it in the.
Check this
So
out.
does that mean that it's wrong on the plate?
It's
that
backwards.
we need to insert it wrong or insert it backwards?
Please
Like,
insert battery incorrect direction.
oof, that's
Don't do what this says.
so confused.
That's very confusing.
Don't be high when you open this because you'll be like, oh, they're telling me that I need to do this wrong.
Yeah. Sometimes it's good not to do.
Yeah. Sometimes it's good not to follow instructions.
Chinese instructions. No offense, China. Somebody missed a space. Yeah, John, that's not good, dude. Check that out. Forgot to put a space in between in and the word correct.
Success.
Success eater.
Mark 5.
What's up, Fairly Functional? It's a few days from Christmas. I'm feeling fairly functional.
Let's go deeper.
We're just checking out all the newest stuff that came in this week
New
and
toys.
what's up for next week.
Dude, you can charge your phone now. You can charge. You charge a GoPro, bruh.
Charge a
Charge your
GoPro on
GoTo.
the road. What was this from? The
Oh,
suction cup?
that's my suction cup I was playing around with, you know.
Nipple suctions. Okay. They gave me a ELRS. Oh, okay.
That's it.
This is so apparently GEP is releasing ELRS receivers.
Oh yeah, I was wondering. I thought this was maybe just DJI, but it's got an ELRS.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Those things are
not
smaller
dope,
than
man.
that. That's smaller than the
Yeah, that
Nano?
was nice.
Nano.
I have not seen a
Oh, just a hair, but not much.
ELRS receiver from
Hey,
when
this
you're
is
2 miles out, you're gonna
FRC. What's selling you my FPV? Probably the one you don't like.
Like-
I want my first
Shouldn't
cheap
do it.
budget.
I mean,
Oh,
probably
thanks,
like the
Eric.
build quality
Thanks
I
for joining the
received
stream,
was
dude.
just like,
Yeah, sometimes I do have some that I get rid of fairly cheap.
it's pretty dope.
So this is the cable to that little, what is this called? The M4?
Charge your phone off your LiPo.
Yeah, nice. So
Or-
you can go input here, and then you
Bro.
can hook it up to a power bank.
Bro. This is pretty impressive.
Yeah, that one's nice. Eachine came out first with the 2S 18650 setup, and I got super excited. I had some batteries laying around. I charged one up, two up, went out and flew it, and it flew for about 30 seconds to drop to the ground. That was my first experience with 2S 18650.
Yeah. It's not. It's not a great first.
Not good, but
Ah.
it wasn't Eacheen's fault. Let's just like clear the table though, because it was my 18650 that weren't very good. So I went and bought two brand new ones,
Yeah.
and then I got what the other reviewers were getting.
Yeah. It's batteries.
I paid like $30 for like 2 of them at a vape shop.
Do you have to store Lions in a storage mode like lipos, or can you just like let those go?
Not, yeah. A lot of people just use them
Drop it
until
like
they're
it's hot.
Right.
use them until they're spent.
Sometimes-
Yeah, just
kinda
drop it like
wondering.
it's hot.
I mean, because that's what I use in my radio. My
Mhm.
radio's mostly Lions, so I
But
usually use those down.
the general rule about 18650 batteries is that you don't want to run them down past like 2.8 volt. Now, when you're flying and you're up in the air at 2.8 volt,
You better be close.
you definitely, yeah, you want to be back to the home point.
Yeah.
And when it hits 2.8 volt, there's maybe 30 seconds to maybe even sometimes a couple minutes. I've milked it to where the quad is basically dropping to the ground, like right to the ground. So sometimes they have voltage protection where they won't let you down to like 2.6. That damages the cell.
Right.
But the thing is like, when you land at 2.8, you're safe, because when you land, the resting voltage after you kill the motors is going to be like 3 volt. So it's going to come up to like 3 volt.
You see that?
There's
That charger.
two types of
See that charger?
two different types of 18650s for guys that are kind of new to that. There's the button type and this type. This caused me a problem on one of my flight tests,
Right. Bad
because
connection.
it came disconnected. Yeah, so the quad just dropped out of the air and I had it crash and it broke. So make sure you're using the button
Yeah,
type.
some of these have like not the best quality, like like touches or whatever. So if you don't have the one with the button on it, yeah, you'll lose kind of.
And the most dangerous one is like where they're like lined up 2 in a row. That one is safer because they're side by side. And I want to say the other one was like 2 in a row, like down the bottom of the quad.
Oh, right.
I have to go find that machine. But this looks nice.
Those are like,
So this is probably going to be a pretty expensive quad because it has DJI on here. And I believe that's a Polar in the front. Probably the newer version of the Polar.
same.
And the Vista right in the middle on a 45. That's interesting. The Vista's on a 45 and the flight controller is straight. I feel like they should have put the VTX straight so it wasn't sticking out on the sides as much.
Yeah.
But maybe that's helping with wiring and everything. Definitely needs a taller antenna. But it has a little spot.
I mean, everything's shipping with these little stubby.
Yeah, everything's
Stubby
shipping with
antennas.
shorties right now. I don't know what to do. Like that one has shorties, but that one is pretty decent though because it has 2 antennas on it, on the old
Right.
school one.
Hmm.
So we have some pretty cool stuff coming up. What was this one called?
The Mark.
No, this Recon FPV
Recon
one.
35. Recon 35.
Recon 35. Blind Fly. It's 2S 1303.5 motors with 5,000 kV, and it's probably running one of the newer Zeus flight controllers on here.
Yeah.
It's got the Recon branded motors.
It is really.
It's pretty simple.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's for charging small stuff. It has a maximum output of like 5 amp on that little tiny
It's 4S.
M4 4S.
Yeah. Well, if you're charging anything that small, 5 amps, you're going nuts.
You're gonna fry some stuff.
You're gonna make some smokes.
You're gonna make some lipo jelly.
You're gonna make some
Hot.
fire.
Some hot
I
lipo
like
jelly.
making smokes. Smokes.
What's up? Family
Trevor
Diver,
smokes.
Malachite, what's up?
Trevor smokes.
TBS is going to ELRS.
Trevor
I wouldn't doubt it. They're going to release their ELRS module. Why not?
Who is?
Who's that? TBS?
Someone said TBS is going to Yellow
No
Rest.
way.
Trappy's rolling over.
Still feel
What's
like-
up from Iceland? How's it going?
Iceland.
I'd love to go to Iceland.
We got some epic foot terrain out there.
Yeah, do some sweet long distance in Iceland.
Mhm.
I feel like Iceland's probably a place you could go fly where like you wouldn't be bothered.
No.
Yeah, I don't feel like there's many Karens in Iceland. Is that true?
Just
The
volcanoes.
population is pretty small, dude.
Like I like to go to a place where I can just be alone with my drone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I
Yeah,
mean, not in a
no.
sexual way,
Right.
you know, but like
No,
just
yeah.
be alone with myself, my thoughts, my battery.
I mean, if you're gonna fly by yourself, it's definitely best to be alone. Like, no other people in the area. If there's people around, then you need a spotter. Like, I feel like it's really difficult to like go to an area where there's any people around and fly by yourself. Like, yeah, you can do it, but I always feel more comfortable if I have like Diego tag along, just so when I'm coming into land and things like that, he can be like, all right, you got walkers coming up to your left. Like, you don't want to fly in that area. Just if I'm goggles on, flying by myself, like I hope there's no other people around.
So if any of you guys are interested in the M4 Pocket from Toolkit RC, the battery types on here are LiPo, LiHV, which is great for your micros, and LiFe. So I don't know. I don't have any LiFe batteries that I know of, except for a big power bank.
Yeah, I'm super familiar with that chemistry.
It's like apparently like safer than 18650. So a lot of the new power banks use LiFe because they don't catch on fire.
Right.
Am I right? Oh, it's tiny. It's like it's smaller than the TBS Nano.
It is.
It's like
Maybe muy
maybe
pequeño.
half the size of TBS Nano.
Muy pequeño.
Muy pe.
Is this the 900 or the 2.4?
2.4, I think. I don't have a 915 megahertz module yet.
No.
The iFlight is releasing the Commando. You guys seen the Commando? It's coming out. The Commando is a dual band
Oh yeah, that controller.
915
yeah.
and 2.4.
Oh man.
I
Radio.
did see
Yeah,
that.
the game style radio.
Yeah, little
Yeah.
miniature
I
size.
just am not a fan of the game style. I like the big. I didn't. Does it have trim? Does it have trim tabs on it? I didn't see that.
I don't know, man. I love my
should.
Tango. My
Or the
Tango 2.
Tango
I
does
love my Tango 2.
Oh yeah.
That was my daily driver, like radio. And one day, I might have been out there with you guys that day.
Yeah, he
I
put
put
it
it-
behind somewhere.
I put it on my windshield to set it down for a minute.
Yeah.
And I went around and got in the car and drove off on the highway. And it's somewhere on Highway 80. Probably.
Is that
Bounce.
when you went following us?
What's that?
Is that when you followed us out?
I don't think so. I was going
No,
home. I was
it
going
was
home
pretty-
that day.
Mm.
But I realized when I got home and I looked everywhere for it, it's nowhere to be found.
Trying to plug it.
That sucks.
4S.
That was my favorite
Plug.
transmitter.
Plugging in.
Good luck. No, it ain't happening.
Hmm?
Never mind.
It's like I just plugged it in. What are you talking about?
Oh, okay. Someone said the Commando is one or the other. Well, they were saying dual band.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be switchable, but yeah,
If they're advertising dual band, then that would be
Charge it
misleading if you have to
on
go on the
charge.
website and choose one or the other.
High voltage.
Yeah.
1 amp. 2 amp.
It does look sick.
3 amp, 5 amp.
Everybody's releasing a new miniature controller right now. Radio Master has one. I'm so stoked that Radio Master is going to be one of our sponsors on the stream. iFlight, the FRC, and Banggood. Like, I feel like the 5 that we got in Beta FPV, I feel like
around.
the 5 that we got are
Oh, that's
some of the ones that have really been helping the hobby. So
balance chart.
I'm stoked on that.
I've got a 4S balance
Yeah.
chart though, so an XT30 4S balance chart. who makes a 6S with XT30s on it? Why do you even have that balance board?
Because I can.
I guess you can.
Quit being so judgmental. Leave.
I'm just saying now you can't plug it into this charger. You leave.
Uh-oh. Nerd fight.
Who makes a 6S? Like, what 6S battery has an XT30 connector?
There are 6S batteries that are 60-30s.
XT. All right.
I have some.
Oh yeah,
I have
I guess
some.
the Cinna. I guess
Yeah,
the
yeah,
like
I
come on,
have,
come
dude,
on,
bro.
Dude, bro.
I have some XT36S batteries.
I was
that
telling
are,
you.
that are
This is like,
450
who does that?
milliamp.
Who does that? 456S.
450 milliamp 6S.
My bad. Yeah.
Let's
I didn't
go.
know about
Nick's gonna get an FPV spanking.
He's gonna get beat.
that. Right.
FPV beat.
All right, hold out your fingers. It's time for the old
It's
school
time for the old
prop dissection.
HQs. Aren't those HQs?
Dude, these props right here are from 2014. They will castrate you if you're not good. They're.
Wish that someone.
I used to cut my fingers just taking these off. I found this in my box the other
Didn't he
day.
hook you up with something recently?
No.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I want to see the Zorro. I am messaging them to send me a Zorro. Hopefully they get that to me sooner than later. I'd like to see that one. That was Radio Master, right? There's so many of them coming out. Yo, good night, Win Jumpy. Good night, bro. It's probably late on the East Coast. Right now, it's just about 8 o'clock West Coast time.
West Coast time.
West Coast. Who's on the West Coast?
West Coast.
Anybody on the West Coast? XT30. I know you are, Luis. Spiff, you're still listening. Spiff couldn't come because wife said no.
Output. Input.
See, if Spiff is still hanging out and he heard that, he'll be commenting like 2 seconds. There's a little bit of delay.
What size props on that toothpick? So like a 2-inch toothpick.
West Coast, West Coast.
What size toothpick? I haven't found any toothpick rigs.
Fullerton, we're okay. Right on. SoCal, nice. Nice warm water down there for surfing. You left Cali for survivable economics.
Understandable.
Yeah, it's a thing. FPV beast in the East. I was just home on the East Coast. I didn't fly. I didn't fly a single time when I was home in North Carolina.
Are you able to share any of your flight footage from this yesterday?
No, because I don't have the OBS hooked up. But
Oh.
I could try to see if I can get the key and log into it. There's like a stream key that you have to get. Let's see. I outputted the action edit from today's video for you for the F6X, and since OBS is not running, we can't really play the video. But I will give it a shot.
We're racing today?
See what I can do.
We don't have anything ready.
Yeah, I think once I'm logged in, I can't like.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I think we'd have to back out. That's what we did last
Yeah,
New tech guy.
We had to back out last week and then open OBS and
Oh, that's what happened. That's
Copy
how we
the-
got it to work.
yeah, we had to copy the stream key, put it into
And then we had
OBS.
to like launch through OBS or whatever.
Yeah, start like you have to click the start streaming button, and then the stream shows up in YouTube.
Dude, this thing could haul your Senegal. Here you go.
Yeah, the go-to.
Um,
Sure.
But I will give you guys some news about that.
Long range go-to. Definitely
That
give
flight?
2 minutes for that.
Well, the one flight that I used for the edit is one of those flights where I should have destroyed this quad like 3 times in the video. I almost hit a metal chain, and then of course you know me, I went back for the chain like 3 more times because once you make it through once, you got to go back again, right, for
Right.
points.
Oh yeah.
So I just skirted under the chain a few times. One time I bounced before the chain and almost bounced into it because I hit a little concrete, bounced up.
Nice.
I don't know how I missed it the first time I went by because I didn't really see it was there. but until like the last second.
Yeah.
I just skirted by it.
What parking garage were you at for that KT20 review? I like
Uh,
that review.
I was out.
Was that Lloyd or?
I was out in like Lake Oswego for that.
Oh
But yeah. The mall security is so funny. They like the guy didn't even get out of his car. He was just like, this is private property, and I'm like, okay. I gotta finish this battery. I'm finishing this battery.
See, last security
I mean,
to talk to Diego and I were just like, hey, you don't have LEDs,
Fly
fly
higher.
higher. And we were
Okay,
like,
we can do that.
I mean, he didn't kick me out. He just said like, this is private property.
he just informed you. Yeah. Oh, hey.
No,
Um,
like
private
a
property.
few years ago when we used to run around looking for garages to fly in at night, we'd get run out immediately. I feel like
I don't feel like it's a big deal.
it's not as big of a deal anymore.
No.
I
Got
think
bigger fish to fry.
I think Portland's got bigger problems
Yeah.
than
I mean,
drone pilots taking over garages.
like homelessness, crime, like COVID.
Murder.
Who's got time to screw with somebody flying something like this? I mean, seriously, dude, if you have a problem with that, bro,
Yeah.
you are
I love those
completely bored.
like that.
I knew I wasn't going to be arrested.
Right.
They're not arrested.
It's like that would be ridiculous. Like I would probably laugh all the way to jail if they arrested me for that. Last time I went to jail, I laughed. It's probably not good. But it was on Christmas Eve. They arrested me. This guy arrested me on Christmas Eve. I was on my way home to my mom's house.
Huh?
And I came off a bridge doing 45. I was coming back from Georgia. And, I was doing 55 and the speed limit sign right off the bridge was 45. So he got me 10 over immediately. And then my driver's license was expired. But in Georgia, you get 30 days grace. So I was literally like an hour away from home on like a 12-hour drive. And he was like, can't let you drive any further, sir. I was back in the 90s. He put me in the drunk tank with some dude who was like super mad. Like calling all the people. He's like, tell Stacy to come pick me up. No, wake grandma up. Grandma's not sleeping. I know she'll come get me. Fighting in the bar on Christmas.
Yeah. People that are still
Look at that.
super drunk.
Look at that.
Ooh, I like that. Is it on both sides?
USB-C.
Yeah, there's a lot of drone haters. I don't know why. I was somewhere today. I think I was in Target and there was some kind of movie playing. Shopping for my kids, and I heard something about drones in the cartoon, and then it said like, no, it was the drone who shot him or killed him or something. And it's like all this drone fear, like in society and culture. It's such like it's so ingrained in people's head that these things like are spying on them or they're going to hurt them or it's kind of ridiculous.
I guess there's multiple definitions for drones. Like a drone isn't necessarily like a four-propped thing. There's like drone robots and things. I think from like science fiction and things like that. Even from Star Wars, the drones. I mean, those are like robots.
Or
also
Call of Duty drones.
Call of Duty drones.
Sending the drone.
What's the sci-fi movie with
Oh, like Avatar.
like Avatar or trying to think of the new movie they remade with like Indian. It got Harrison Ford and all right, way off top. But anyway, I think that's where the kind of the drone negative thing comes from. Not necessarily altogether prop things.
5.99. Whoa, is that serious?
No, I think that charger's off.
So I was told by Toolkit RC that this had a firmware update. So if you get this M4, update the firmware immediately. Because what Diego just showed me right now is that this thing is reading 3.82, 3.82, 5.99, and 0.46.
That sells
Banging.
banging.
I'm going to unplug that real quick and plug it back in and see if it updates. Nope. Let's try a different battery. 5.99. That's a problem, Diego.
Yeah, that's not right.
Okay, let's find something else.
Is it
Another
like-
one right back
Is
up
it
there.
just adding the last two cells together and just
Ooh,
doing
I
that?
think so.
Yeah, that's probably a firmware thing.
Excuse me. Pardon me.
Omicron. No.
Omicron.
What are you doing, man? We're live.
What are you doing?
Sneezing.
Oh, this little
China
this little
packages.
thing slides back and forth. That's pretty cool. You can select XT60 or XT30. It's a pretty nifty toolkit. Okay, let's plug this in. Let's see. Oh, I guess I should plug it the other way. All right, okay, there's a negative. Let's see what we got here on this battery. Dude, this one's reading all good. We should get a volt checker on that battery.
No.
So we got one battery in the house. It's we need to take it outside and shoot it.
Emojis. Chill out.
So this one's reading fine.
Put it in quarantine.
Perfect. Should find one of my batteries. Put on there if I have any laying around here.
Where's that?
I guess this one won't work. Check out that balance lead. It's now 2. Used to be 1. You guys have any batteries like that? I should probably dispose of that battery. Okay. Here's one of my old crunched,
Well,
inflated taco.
This says all the cells are the same.
Let's see what this one says. It's saying all the cells are the same
Yeah.
on his charger.
I think it's that little
That's-
charger's piece of shit.
That's weird.
Censored.
These are reading fine. Can't really see that.
I think it's just a funky thing.
Funky
Are we broadcasting backwards?
So this one says 40 for all the cells. I don't know, man. Could try a Lion, see what it reads. This won't charge a Lion, but I'll try it. 4S. That one's reading.
If that cell was at 5.9, it would be on fire. Okay? Just so you know.
I'm not going to sleep tonight.
If it was truly at 5.9, it would be on fire.
Just leave it in the oven.
Yeah, just leave it in the oven
Just in
or
case.
put it out on the front porch. Quit being a. Whoops.
Somebody said plug it into 120.
Yeah!
Yeah, I'll get rid of it. That's one way to dispose of them. We used to shoot them.
This is dangerous, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that don't do this at home, kids.
No, just plug that in.
Just plug that into the wall.
Yeah, don't plug in your
You can back charge your battery.
You
USB.
can back charge your battery now.
That's how you charge.
That's how
it,
you
right?
charge your batteries, right?
No, you don't need a power source. You can charge it from that USB-C thing, right?
And just plug it into the wall.
Mhm.
Direct charge.
If your power runs out, you can
Well, you
always
can
power it
direct
off some-
charge. You can direct
some
charge your
light
drone.
power.
To
And
direct
then-
charge your drone, bro.
Exactly.
Here you go, JD.
Did you guys fly today?
Direct charge your drone.
No.
Oh, whoa.
I mean, I tiny whooped a pack.
So Diego
Infinite power.
has an idea.
Infinite power,
What
dude.
do
You can run for days.
What do you guys think?
I mean,
Will this work?
You can't fly very far.
Should we
but
should
you
we ask
know.
Bardwell if this will work?
Yeah. I mean, 5 volts. It actually. I mean, it wouldn't fry anything.
I mean, you know, there are tethered drones out there,
Yeah.
but not on 120, I don't believe. That'd be
But I
crazy.
mean, that thing regulates it down to 5
I know
volts. So yeah. I mean,
Maybe.
do you is this
Yeah.
putting 120 into your phone
Every time.
Every time, yeah,
Every
no.
time.
So it's not gonna fry anything. But yeah, it's still.
Don't
probably-
try that at home. No matter what Nick's saying over there, don't try that.
Yeah. What is this putting out?
It's probably 3 volt or something like that, 3 amp or something like that.
Yeah.
probably.
3 amp,
2 amp, but still, don't try it.
5.9 volts.
Would not be good.
Yeah.
I'm sure it would.
No, 11 volts.
We'll do it
max.
at your house.
11 volts max.
We're gonna
Okay,
do this
yeah.
at Nick's house. Next stream, next week, Nick's
I have
house
faith
Friday
in the
night.
Apple.
I
I
have
have
Nick's
faith
gonna
in
plug
Apple.
in his
Apple
quad.
see
Nick's gonna
yeah.
plug in his
Yeah.
quad to the 120.
I mean, when you plug it into your laptop, that's the same. That's about the same voltage. So I mean,
I'm not a smart person, so that's
it's beyond.
just beyond me. Yep.
It's not like you're plugging this straight into.
Yeah,
like,
tether drones on ships. Cool stuff. Keep
Ooh,
the pirates
yeah,
away.
that would be sweet. Fly some flags.
Looks like an Apex. So Diego and Nick this week are building up their FPV wings, which we're going to review on the channel. It's an Eachine wing. This is Diego's right here. Pretty slick looking wing. Kind of reminds me of like something Zod would release. Maybe a Zod lookalike. But I think the profile of this thing looks pretty damn good. I mean, that's pretty sleek for how small it is. I think it's going to fly really good. It's like it reminds me of like a miniature Orbit. Orbit was one of my favorite, like bind and fly wings. Yeah. The Orbit would fly for like, I think 25-minute flight time on a 3S 2200. Just cruising, super low KV. This one is a little more hopped up. It's like 2,000 something KV. So it's going to be fast, but I think it's going to be smooth. You got some nice little winglets here, and that'll keep a lot of the bouncing from happening.
Mm-hmm.
Camera right up front in the nose. I believe those little wings fly on 4S. So maybe like a 4S.
Maybe if we get some decent weather this weekend, we can maybe do some yeets. Take them out and eat them.
I've got a pretty good handful of planes we're going to review coming up. I also have Eachine Flying Fish, which looks like a pretty cool miniature FPV plane. I'm not a smart person, but I know what love is. So welcome to the stream. If you're just getting in, we're probably going to end up here just a little bit, but welcome to the new guys into FPV. If you're looking for a place, an open forum where you can ask questions, you want to find out about a current build, or you have a problem or anything like that, all these guys in this room right here, there's 41 people right now that would probably be willing to help you out. So if you're watching this later or you're driving and letting this play, this is the nicest thing about podcasts, I think, is that today I was in traffic for an hour and a half, and I would have loved to have something like this that I'm super interested in to listen to on that drive. I mean, I was literally stopped on the I-5, just sitting there. I think I sat for 30 minutes in one spot. I started watching like live stream on Facebook, some live gaming.
There you go.
So podcasts are nice because if you're on a long drive home or you commute, you can just open up the latest episode and pull it up on your phone and just let it play and listen. And there's a lot of information that you can hear or pick up, or you might hear something about something new coming out, which is also pretty cool. Nice. Good to hear Albert Kim likes it. I need to take a trip down to South Cali and fly with Albert. He's one of the dudes that I would fly with. He seems pretty chill. I like the Albert Kim. Eachine 800. That's the Flying Fish, yeah. I feel like Zod has not released anything in quite a while. ZOHD.
Yeah. Not as familiar with them.
No, they're one of the companies that like this style of
black and white style,
like the Delta.
That's their like signature look on all their planes.
It's got some
Now,
tiny little motors.
I think it would be interesting if like iFlight released an FPV wing or fixed wing plane, because I feel like an iFlight plane would be pretty damn good. I know Diatone has released wings before, But
Oh yeah.
and I actually have one of them that I'm still getting going.
Oh,
Mark V has Bluetooth.
Speedy B.
There's a little screw that didn't drop out of the quad, did it?
Sure did.
It's been on the table.
You got to watch out for random screws laying around because they'll end up sticking to your motors. And then when you go to spool up, you'll have a
So you
crash.
just connect Speedy B to it. It's pretty dope. Is that what that? Is that Wi-Fi and Bluetooth or just Bluetooth?
I think that's just
Yeah, Speedy B. Yeah, it's
Bluetooth.
Yeah.
Yo, what's up, Gray Scott? What's up, Cool Cat?
Zigzag.
Yeah, you know, like traditionally, some people hate on Ishin, but then again, like they must have gotten like over hundreds of thousands of people into RC hobby, whether it's just like a cheap little airplane or whatever, it's affordable.
But honestly, a little Ishin tiny whoop was my very first tiny whoop. I like added a camera to it by just like popping the top off and soldering the board on. Like that was how I like got into it. So yeah, I mean, I can't hate on them too much.
I got a confession. I'm gonna make a confession. One of my first multi-rotors was by Traxxas.
Oh wow.
That's
I didn't know that.
that's nothing to be too ashamed of.
Too ashamed. I'm not too ashamed of it, but
They're a decent RC company.
it was
right?
like this little tiny thing, like this big. It was really tiny, and you could fly it in the house. And I
Oh,
crashed
yeah.
that thing all over the house. Like I had a lot of fun with it. I guess that was about 10 years ago when they released those.
That's right before that for Christmas.
Yeah,
I
dude.
got my
And
Big
Traxxas
holder and
after that,
big
years
holder.
after that, they came out with a 3D one. So it would go upside. It was like a line of sight. I forgot what it's called. So speaking of old school stuff, I'm gonna do a special video coming up at the first of next year because recently I found a relic of mine from like years ago, and we're gonna have a little bit of a FPV story time / history video. We're gonna talk about what used to be, what was popular, and it'll really give you a good look at like how far we've come, like in the hobby. I was looking at this in another magazine that I found. It was crazy. The ads in there like really took me back.
Oh yeah.
I mean, even 5 years ago, you won't believe how far we've come in just like
Yeah.
5 years. It's crazy.
I remember back when my AMA membership came with the subscription to their like model magazine, and yeah, it was all model airplanes stuff back.
Oh
in the
yeah,
day. That was
it's
like,
Model Aviation
yeah,
magazine.
yeah.
I had some drone camps ads in that, like the first or second year
Oh yeah.
that I got
Wow.
going. 'Cause
Yeah.
I had a drone camp store.
Wow. Here in Portland.
No, in North Carolina.
Oh, in North
for,
Carolina.
For 2
yeah.
years, we were up and running. We did drone builds for FPV race quads. We did Phantoms. We did custom FLIR builds for hunters, and
Wow. Oh yeah.
we did military backpack rigs, so people could go out and do recon.
Right.
Um,
That's awesome because FLIR's here in Oregon. They're down in like Tualatin or whatever.
I did
So-
Hollywood cinema rig builds. We did
Wow.
like $15,000 like octocopters and
Yeah.
DSLRs. Back then it was Zenmuse gimbals. I think Zenmuse is still around. Probably Zenmuse 15.0 by now.
Yeah.
Um,
Nice. That's awesome. Yeah.
I had someone try to return a
paper
50,
magazines when you have those delivered
we
every month.
we had a custom build for a client in California somewhere, and he spent like 15 grand, but he didn't want to spend like one extra $1,000 back then to get the DJI equivalent of what the HD system is now. It was called Lightbridge back then. Some of you guys might remember Lightbridge, but Lightbridge was like this big silver unit that was far superior to 5.8 video. And Lightbridge cost like $1,200.
Right.
And so this guy was spending 15 grand. And I told him, get Lightbridge installed in there. It's way better. It will be seamless with what you want to do. No, I want the one system on there that you got that's like $400. It's a ground station with a 5.8 monitor. And so you know how people that flew Phantoms feel about 5.8 when they first see it. It's like it's dog shit to them because their little phone shows a display that looks like nice crystal clear video.
Right.
And so he calls me 2 days later and wants to return the drone for a refund because he had already flown it and said that it didn't live up to the performance expectations that he was hoping for. And I was like, bro, I told you on the phone before we built this and sent it to you. I told you that it's going to have some static on the screen when you get a certain amount of distance. Now, what you need to do at this point is to make it clear, you're going to have to upgrade your antennas to something more expensive or buy Lightbridge and install it. If you don't want to see fuzz on the screen, don't fly 5.8. And I told him that before he bought it, but you know, and then he's like, I want to return it. I'm like, no refunds on flown $15,000 custom build octocopter.
Right.
That's like making a wedding dress and then like using it for your wedding.
Yeah, and then be like, oh,
and trashing it and then
didn't
trying to
fit
like
quite right.
and then bring it back to the
Quite
store
right. Can I get full refund?
Give me money back.
after your wedding date.
All right. What time we got?
8:17. It's time for your bedtime, Diego.
It is.
All right, guys. If you guys have any final questions, we're gonna put Diego to bed.
Gotta tuck him in.
You gotta tuck him in. No, he's doing great tonight. He's hanging in there. He's hanging tough. These streams can get kind of long. And I was telling him I have a lot of media. I can go forever. I could be like a late night DJ on the radio. That's my dream job. A glass of warm milk.
Great.
Don't haze him too much. He's not used to the interwebs like I am. I got thick skin. I don't give a shit what you guys say. Tuck my ears in my hat. I look like some guy told me I look like a washed up skateboarder. That was cute. Yeah, man. Thanks for hanging out with us, seeing what's new. We just want to have some beers and FPV chat for you guys. We're going to get more formal as we go along. We get more experience with the podcast, of course. And Mark 5 on the bench. We've got Recon. What was this called?
Recon 35.
Recon 35 with dual 18650 2S and DJI and GPS on the back. Bitches.
Send them a 3.5-inch long way.
That will be a fun quad. I don't even know if this thing's released yet, but tune into the podcast and you might see something you're not supposed to see.
And they've got a GoPro mount on the front, so I mean, they've got some sort of camera mount.
DK's mount on the front,
Yeah.
Go-To or DK's GoPro.
Something lighter. But I like it. They include that.
I'm glad you guys enjoyed the stream. We're gonna hopefully pick up some more sponsors. If you want to help me out on my Patreon, do jump at the link is down below. If not, DM me and I will send it to you. Text messages from the girlfriend. Time to go. She said, what a journey to get back home. Yeah, it took me an hour and a half to get back here from her house today. Hour and a half. Thank you, Portland. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, whatever it is you celebrate. All the holidays. Just 2 more days, you guys. 2 more days. I got my kids some awesome Lego sets, and we got them a Power Wheels. Diego's going to love that.
You're gonna chase them around.
We doing some donuts. I modded it. I actually made the battery.
Of course.
Yeah.
I mean,
You're going to put some electric skateboard motors on the back of that thing. You're going to do donuts.
Right.
Upgrade the tires.
Out.
Put a radio in there.
Just be able to take over with the radio whenever you just flip the switch. Be like, all right, hold on.
Little baby doll seats. Well, I want to say
6-point straps.
thanks to Diego for streaming with me today, as always, and putting up with my antics. And Nick, What's your FPV name?
ATP Synth Race is what I race with, but then just Hobby Boolin is my YouTube. So you go Hobby Boolin, I think 417 my YouTube out there.
Also, whoa, dude, bro, sup? Deluxe just tipped $49.99, bro.
Oh yeah, thanks, man.
Thank
All right,
you.
I gotta take my pants off now, man. No, I'm just kidding. Dude, thank you. That's like that. That's seriously the biggest tip I've ever gotten. I'm speechless on that one, dude. That is like, thank you. That's epic. That's super epic. Thank you, Super Deluxe. That made my day. I didn't get any tips today except for Super Deluxe.
Hold on, did
Hit me up,
Super
bro.
Deluxe tip last time as well?
I need to go back and look at that stream again, but I believe so. $25, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, dude, you guys
Thanks,
freaking awesome.
Super
The people that tip, I sometimes forget to mention tips, but that is kind of a part of live streams. If you guys appreciate the content, I'm constantly cranking for you guys. For me, my life is fly, edit, upload, kid time, girlfriend time, and then back for another. I just gotta do this every day. This is my day job, so I really appreciate that. Thank you. And also, if you guys want to check out Diego's Instagram, is Diego the Colombian Bean.
Yep.
Some of the most epic footage in Oregon is by this pilot.
I don't know about that.
Dude, I mean, seriously, he's humble about it, but it's really good stuff. Thank you, Marcel, Off Axis FPV. Thank you, bro. Cheers to you guys, Super Deluxe. Cheers. Thank you so much for that.
Thanks, guys.
That's awesome. Dude, I mean, you're unemployed. There's a lot of people struggling out there right now. So, yeah, numbers are down everywhere for everybody. So I appreciate any amount is just really makes my day. Thank you. Good night, guys. Good night, John. Cool Cat. Fly Zone. Great, Scott. Good to see you, man. Luis, if you're still hanging. Man, we'll hang with you guys next week. Next Friday at 7 p.m. is the stream every week. You guys can tune in.
Hold on, is next week
next Friday might be
New Year's Eve.
So it might be a Wednesday. It might be another Wednesday.
Oh my God, we might have another Wednesday next week. Let's check the calendar.
Unless we got, we adventurous. What we should try and do is try and get some video footage for next week.
Yeah.
Maybe some Christmas lights.
Hopefully.
Maybe some people sending videos to us that we could potentially show.
Right. So if you guys have some epic video, you want to DM me on Facebook to a link. YouTube.
Try and get some Christmas light video if you got it.
Yeah,
we'll do the same.
Go out and fly some Christmas lights. Get some sick FPV Christmas light videos, and we'll drop those on our next episode. Or just an epic FPV flight. If you want to be included in the stream, I will have the software set up next time. At this point, I forgot what it's called. OBS. So some of you guys have any tips about OBS? Some of you guys are smart about that stream stuff. So hit me up on Facebook. Take care, everybody. Merry Christmas. If we don't talk to you until afterwards or in the next review chat in the comments down below. Check out the link to the F6X as well. This review drops tomorrow. I have to go actually just set that one up for, it's going to have an early post tomorrow about 6 a.m. West Coast time. So 9 a.m. East Coast time. Well, this video is going to drop. Really epic footage in that one. And I almost destroyed it 3 or 4 times by chain. All right, guys. Keep it up in the blue. Happy FPV, everybody. Thanks, Nick, coming on the show. Diego, as always, my bros. Yep. Thanks for hanging, all you guys, too. We'll see you on the next one. Take care, everybody.
Flying out there.
Peace.
Bye.
Bye-bye. See you guys.